c4, e6, knight to f3, d5, g3, knight to f6, controlling the center with pawns. Bishop to g2, bishop to d6, develop d4, castles kingside, b3, h6, bishop to b2, b6, launches a subtle queenside expansion. Castles kingside, bishop to b7, knight to c3, knight to d7, knight to e1, rook to e8, kingside castling signals safety. Knight to d3, knight to e4, rook to c1, a6, e3, rook to c8. Tension builds on the c-file. Knight to f4, knight to f6, knight to e2, queen to e7, knight to d3, c5, knights clash in the center. Pawn takes c5, pawn takes c5, pawn takes d5, pawn takes d5, knight to f4, rook to d8, pawns exchange, simplifying. Rook to c2, a5, queen to a1, c4, knight to d4, bishop takes f4, queenside pawns start to fall. Pawn takes f4, queen to b4, force c3, bishop takes c3, rook takes c3, rook takes c3, queen takes d4, rook to c2, rooks enter the fray. Queen to d4, bishop takes e4, knight takes e4, rook to c4, knight to c3, rook to e1, central pawns collide. Queen to d6, f3, bishop takes f3, rook takes c3, pawn takes c3, queen takes c3, and game pieces start to emerge. Bishop to b7, king to f2, queen to d5, rook to g1, rook to c8. Rooks dominate the board.